Hey, what's up guys, RuneScape Novice here with another video. This one's actually on a Pokemon game, but not one that you can get for a console. This is Pokemon, what do they call this thing? Omega. It is the Fire Red hack, not the online game that you can go around and play with all your friends. Nope. This one is just, you know, the ROM, okay, the hack of Fire Red. And it is an awesome game in my opinion. I've played every single one of the hack games. I know. That's a lot of games to go through, but if I haven't played every one, I've played almost every single one of them. And I've only been impressed with two of them. The first one was Naranja. It was kind of fun to play around on, but I got really annoyed with these, even though the so-called, you know, all English version, full English, was, you know, 50% English, 50% Spanish, or something around there. And I don't speak Spanish, so it was impossible for me to play. If you do, hey, more power to you. Have a lot of fun. It's a fun game. I also made the mistake of speeding through the dialogue, so now I have no idea what to do. Kind of just stuck in the second or third town, whatever it is. After I got the Lapras, I can't figure out what to do with it now. But, you know, that's that. Naranja's really fun because you can go get the Crystal Onyx, which is, you know, it's pretty cool. In all honesty, in my opinion, it's pretty awesome. But this is Pokemon Omega. I'll put a link to where you can download an emulator and the ROM in the description down below. I'll do a, you know, I can do a playthrough if you guys want to see a walkthrough. But for now, it's just a brief demonstration of the game and my personal opinions on it. We'll start with my opinions. I'm really impressed with it because it feels almost like a real Pokemon game. As a matter of fact, it does feel like a real Pokemon game because unlike with the other hack versions, this one doesn't give you like, you know, all new Pokemon that are all fake and poorly done. It doesn't give you, you know, all sorts of this stupid shit that you just don't need. It gives you your real Pokemon generations, first through fourth. Some of the fourth generation Pokemon are included. I don't really care for anything past the third generation. I didn't care for the third generation that much, you know, honestly. I started playing Pokemon back when, well, I actually started on Pokemon Silver, but I also played Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow, and they were a lot of fun. They really were. But, I think they seriously went downhill after Johto. Alright, I know you're getting bored sitting here watching my character do nothing while I'm talking. Just bear with me. I'll get to the game, I promise. But yeah, it includes Pokemon Generations 1 through 4. The only Pokemon that are in Generation 4 that I really care for are Pokemon like this one, Munchlax. This is pretty cool, man. I've always wanted a Munchlax ever since I saw it in Pokemon XD. So this is pretty sweet. Got a Pidgey, which I happen to catch it to shiny, which is awesome. I know some people will think that I hacked for it, but come on, if I was gonna hack or something, I would do something a lot better than a freaking Pidgey. Rattata. Murkrow, this is also a shiny. You actually get this by rescuing Nurse Joy. She's being attacked by it, and it will always be a shiny from what I understand. That's kind of cool. It's my current strongest Pokemon. Whatever the hell this thing is. Bidoof, Bidoof, I think. Yeah. I guess I'm not really familiar with these Pokemon. And it has a super potion. I'm gonna have to take that. And then you have Growlithe. Now, this is actually really cool because Growlithe is your first Pokemon. It's your starter Pokemon. You don't get to choose between a water, grass, and fire. Professor Oak gives you the Growlithe, or whoever the professor is in this game. I can't remember which. But it's really cool because, you know, Growlithe is one of the coolest base Pokemon in the game, in my opinion. Especially when he evolves into Arcanine, the original legendary Pokemon. There's a whole story behind how it was supposed to be the original legendary fire Pokemon in Pokemon 2000, but they switched it to Moltres because they were afraid people would be confused by the two birds and one land animal. But it is really cool that you get a Growlithe. It's something different. It's not the overdone, okay, here's your Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Chikorita, Totodile, Volava, whatever. It actually just, you know, it gives you a good Pokemon that is rare, but not impossible to find like the others are. So it's kind of cool, in my personal opinion. If you guys want the freaking Bulbasaur Charmander thing, this game isn't for you. Anyway, let's go out there and play the game a little bit, shall we? See, there's a little bit of Spanish in this game too, but not a whole lot of it, honestly. I'd say it's 95% English, 5% Spanish. And we have a fight. Let's see what we got here. A bit of Baidu, whatever this thing is. Yeah, I know the new Pokemon fans are really just gonna troll me in the comments down below because I don't like the Pokemon or can't pronounce its name. I played Pokemon way before, you know, all these weird, cutesy looking things came around. I remember when it was very much, you know, Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur with the Pokemon you wanted to get in the beginning of the game. Especially Charizard, and you had Mew and Mewtwo as your legendaries, which were awesome. Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno, which were awesome. Later came Ho-Oh, Lugia, Suicune, Entei, and Raikou. They were all awesome. And Celebi was awesome. After that, it really did go downhill. I wasn't a fan of the Regis, and I wasn't a fan of Kyogre and Groudon and Rayquaza. Rayquaza was okay, but it wasn't really that cool. I didn't care for Jirachi, I didn't care for Deoxys. I just didn't care for the majority of the Pokemon since then. And all the base Pokemon were the same way. I just really didn't like them. Maybe that's because I'm stuck in the old school way of Pokemon. And a Lickitung, and of course I don't have a Pokeball to capture it with. Oh well. Let's see, I have about, well, a little less than 3 minutes, a little over 3 minutes, I mean, to keep recording before my freaking Bandicam shuts off. I am trying the Bandicam thing out. I'm going with a Fraps guy, but I really get irritated with having to convert every single file from like 4 gigabytes just to end up having to piece them all together because you end up getting 4 or 5 files for a 10-minute long video. Converting them, then uploading them to YouTube is kind of a pain in the ass, so testing this out. Let's do something besides my Growlithe go. Have some fun with this guy. Let's see what I have here. We go with Munchlax. And yeah, it does have a Poochyana's sprite when it's in your party, but when it's actually out, bam, we got Munchlax. I'm hoping I can find a Bonsly. Munchlax and Bonsly are the only 4th generation Pokemon I really like, and that's because they were introduced in Pokemon XD, which was an awesome game. In all honesty, in my opinion, here's what I think, you know, I can't remember what it is that makes the official Pokemon game, I'm just going to say Pokemon. Here's what they ought to do. They ought to make one game where you can get a Shadow Lugia, just like it is in Pokemon XD, a Crystal Onix, the Red Gyarados from Pokemon Gold and Silver and Crystal, Ash's Pikachu, you know, all these really, really cool, somewhat unique Pokemon, and put them in one game, and make them really, really hard to find, okay? As opposed to maybe, let's say, the Legendaries. Just put them in there instead of the Legendaries. I'd play it. Just because, you know, that's kind of iconic to me. Not so much the, you know, the Crystal Onix. The Crystal Onix is just cool because it's unique. But definitely the Shadow Lugia is somewhat iconic to me at this point. The Ash's Pikachu is definitely, I think, iconic to every old school Pokemon fan. It's just my personal opinion, though. They're probably never going to do something like that, but it would be pretty cool. Either way, I'm at 9 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here. But yeah, it's a really fun game. It feels just like, or not quite just like, but very, very close to a real Pokemon game. As far as I know, this is not available on a cartridge. You have to get the ROM and the emulator, but hey, that's all the more fun, man. Like I said, the links will be in the description down below, and if you want a full playthrough, let me know. If you want demonstrations of other hack games, just tell me down below, and I'll be more than happy to do it. Anyway, until next time, RuneScape Novice signing out. Peace. Take care.